let's look at the last step of the process, which is code your own recipe. So we've been looking at a case study of a business that I launched out of frustration, and we've been looking at the 9 guiding principles of how I've been able to establish that. So in this video, I'm going to give you some of the examples of maybe just one example of a model of a business that I've done using these 9 guiding principles. And each and every business that I do, I'll be looking into those 9 guiding principles, and anything that I'm going to do in the future, the 9 guiding principles are going to be my guide. So if you've missed out the ebook, please download the ebook that I've been talking about. Now let us call out these 9 guiding principles out loud, because this is actually the last video that I'm actually going to be doing in this series. So number 1, you're looking at learn it all. Number 2, you're looking at market research. Number 3, you're looking at creating or finding the product or service. And number 4, we're looking at creating the buying environment. Number 5, traffic. Number 6, traffic again. Number 7, semi-automation. Number 6, semi-automation. Oh, number 6. Yeah. Number 7, semi-automation. Number 8, full automation. Number 9, we're looking at your own recipe. So what do I mean by your own recipe? There's certain things that you need to understand about your own recipe. So as you work on these 9 guiding principles, you need to make sure that you adjust some of the business processes that happens in a business. Maybe it could be hiring more staff, it could be firing people that are not working, that are not performing properly, it could be exchanging a software you've been using, a strategy. You kind of move things in around. So that's what you need to understand as well when I'm talking about your own recipe. And then have you ever heard the term whereby people say make money while you're asleep, and he runs a lot of businesses and things like that? So when I'm talking about your own recipe, I'm talking about a stage whereby you get to and you decide what you want to do with your business. Okay, so a very good example that I can give you is a lot of business where I come from in Zimbabwe. I've been studying a lot of businesses, especially from my father. Okay, my father was an entrepreneur. He was a photographer. Okay, so there was an issue. This is when I had to really sit down and think through how my father ran his business. So my father was very good at photography. He went to school, he studied a lot of books about photography and things like that. So he was one of these guys who had to do photography, the old style, whereby they get into a dark room and all those kind of things. The old folks know what I'm actually talking about. But when my father passed away, the business did not survive for a very long time. The business did not survive in a very short space of time. Okay, so I was actually observing my father in terms of how he ran his business, and I realized that for a very long time, my father was the go-to person in the business. My father, when he used to work, was a young person around the age of 7, 6. I spent a lot of time with my father. I realized that my father had more than 10 employees that were working for him when I was doing the photography business, because he was also doing picture frames, go out and take pictures and things like that. But on all the operations, my father was the main or the go-to person, if I should say. There were some decisions that were not made if my father was not there. Okay, so when my father passed away, the business did not survive, and a lot of relatives, whoever took the business over, a lot of relatives, blamed the person who took the business over, or they started blaming each other. Okay, the business did not survive, they made the business broke and things like that. So it's only because my father didn't go through these 9 guiding principles of starting a successful man business. Okay, he was good at what he does, but in terms of putting systems, in terms of putting automations in his business, he worked on his business until the day that he died. Okay, so I'm looking at a situation, or I'm asking a situation whereby that affects a lot of business or a lot of entrepreneurs before they realize that, if I can ask you a question, can you step away from your business today for the next 3 months and still come back to where it was? That's where you need to go. This is when we're talking about your own recipe. Okay, so now looking at your own recipe, there's certain things that you need to start thinking of right now. Remember, the first thing I spoke about, always as you're doing the other steps that I've mentioned, make sure that you try and fix things like changing employees and things like that, changing systems and things like that. And then at this stage you can now decide, okay, you can now decide, do I want to leave this business for my kids? Do I want to leave this business for my loved ones? What is it that I want to do with the business? Okay. The other thing that you need to think of is, do I need to share? Do I need to sell the business? I just need to sell this business. There's a lot of entrepreneurs out there in terms of online that I've actually met. What they do is they go out there, they start a website, they make sure that the website is full up and running, and when the website is full up and running, they sell it, and then they move on to create another website, a niche website where they're talking about different a certain topic, a very certain specific topic. They grow the brand online, and then they sell it. They again go to another one, they sell it. Other people, what they do is that they work on the business, they grow it to a certain point, they maintain it that way, they start another one, they maintain another business as well, they go on again, on and on and on and on and on to create more businesses like that. At the end of the day, they have got different income sources from the internet of the business that they've actually worked on. Another way is to have shares. Like you say, guys, I've worked on this business, I just need to have 20% of my shares, and 80% or 30% or whatever share I can actually sell to someone, or whatever the decision, and to expand the business as well. In our case, right now, we're looking at we are expanding the IELTS teaching in different countries. We've been looking for tutors in different countries, in Poland, in Cameroon. I've been helping people in Cameroon with some of the processes, and I've been helping people in Botswana. So we are expanding in those directions. So it's a decision that you need to make when it comes to your own recipe. It's really, really up to you. I'm not going to tell you what to do at that stage, but you just have to decide what you want to do with your business at that stage. So coming back to the very first video that I did when I was actually walking in the street of United Kingdom, I spoke about a lot of entrepreneurs. I've been talking to a lot of entrepreneurs who are moving for greener pastures to United Kingdom as nest aides, and a lot of them, they are actually closing down their businesses. And sometimes you may think of a business that it cannot run while you're not there. This is the time when you're supposed to apply these 9 guiding principles. You don't have to really apply them online. Okay, you can actually apply them on the physical space, on the offline space, if I should say. Let me talk about a very good example of someone who does. I went to my cousin. She sells hardware. Okay, she sells hardware, building materials. So she was like, you know what, I'm actually there to count stock, to find out, okay, who bought today, how much have we made, and things like that. I'm not able to leave my business for anyone. So I was like talking to her and say, you know what, in any industry that you can actually think of, in any industry, think of any industry as a huge piece of cake. Okay, so it could be hardware. Let's talk of hardware, or even agriculture. Let's look at agriculture as well. You might say that, oh, I want to see people putting the seeds in the ground. I want to see people putting the fertilizer on the ground, and then I can account for that. So you need to look at the chain, at the whole piece of cake, and what you need is just a small piece. So I was actually talking to my cousin, and I was saying that, okay, if you are into hardware, then what you need to do is to move from being the seller of the products. Just look into supply. Okay, so what you do is that you buy from the wholesaler, and then you can actually do a small wholesale to other people that are just like you. That's a way of automating some of your business processes, or look into importing some of these things from China as well. Okay, and again, I can give you a very good example of my cousin's sister as well. So when she was in Zimbabwe, she was doing nails. Okay, she was working in a salon, and so when she moved to United Kingdom, I was telling her that, you know what, you need to make sure that you need to set up a business that works for you when you're not there. And then she was like, you know what, I was actually doing the nails, and these people, they need to see me do the nails and things like that. So I was telling her that you need to understand that there's a lot of talented people out there in Zimbabwe, and right now in Zimbabwe there's a high rate of unemployment, and you've worked for a very long time as a nail specialist, and what you just have to do, it's simple mathematics that I'm just going to give you. So what she used to do what we call rent a chair. And then this rent a chair process is whereby she rents a piece of table, okay, like this big room. There's this big room, and then each and every person who works in the salon is renting their own table, and they're giving money to the landlord. So a very good example, a big room, and they are being charged a certain fee, each of them, maybe 20 people, and the money is going to the landlord. And the landlord, guess what? The landlord is never in that. The landlord is never, okay, in fact, the landlord is never there on a daily basis when they are doing their nails and things like that. And then I was like, okay, why don't you become the landlord of such a place? Find a place, okay, raise a little bit of money when you get to United Kingdom. When you go to work, raise a little bit of money. Go back to Zimbabwe, or send someone who can look for that place, renovate the place, paint it out, put some hair, whatever, hair furniture, whatever they use, and then find people that can come and rent for you. You come back to United Kingdom. Once you come back to United Kingdom, and then you'll be collecting rent on a monthly basis. That means the business is running for you. You can just find one manager who can be collecting money on your behalf, or you tell the people to go and deposit the money into your bank account. So that's another model that she can actually use. When I was actually speaking to her, and she was like, okay, that makes a lot of sense. So a lot of people, if you look at these 9 guiding principles, they apply in any industry. So if you have time to speak to me, I'm gonna lay it out to you in less than 10 minutes of how you can actually do that. Another example that I've actually done is a small business that I've actually given to my nephew, who is 16-17 years old. Okay, my nephew, when I was in Zimbabwe, was helping what I call forex traders to put money into their broker account. Okay, so when forex traders are trading money online in Zimbabwe, what they do is they need to deposit money into the forex broker. They trade. Once they trade, when they win, they also need to take out money, okay, and use that money and get hard cash. I'm not going to explain that a lot because I've covered that a lot in my videos. So I was the person who was helping them to do that, okay. So I've been able to generate a lot of customers through that. And when I was leaving Zimbabwe, I was like, okay, who can I give this business to? Okay, and I picked one of my nephews, and I said to my nephew that, okay, I want you to help these people. I had to take time, you know, to make sure that the first thing that I had to do with them is that I had to put them on a salary. And then when they were doing those transactions for me, they would give me my money, and then I give them their money. Just because this person is my nephew, slowly I said to him, no, now you can actually take 100% of the money, okay. It's yours. I don't need it anymore. Just keep the money, but the business is running. So that's what you need to think. I could have told you guys about a lot of my online enterprises that have used the same 9 guiding principles, but I'm gonna end there. I'd love to hear your story in the comment section below. If these videos have been so helpful, and if you have any questions for me, leave a comment in the comment section. I'll be more than happy to help you. And in all these videos that I've done, I've put some resources in the comment section that are really helpful, resources that have actually helped me in the beginning, somewhere around 2012, 2013, 2011, when I was actually getting started. With that said, I guess this series has been one of the amazing sessions that you've ever had, and I can't wait to see a testimony, or to hear a testimony about how your business is thriving while it's you location free. I mean, right now I'm in United Kingdom, but I do run all of the businesses online, and I do make money from different people in different parts of the world. And with that said, thank you so much for watching, and bye for now.